From the ashes to school the masses. Hello everyone, welcome to episode 121 of the Scholars of Wrestling Show. I'm your man behind the microphone, Scholar Jeff. To my left, as always, is Scholar Tarek.
It seems very appropriate to just start the show with money, 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 money.
Yes.
In the bank.
And to my other left, the one with the other disembodied voice, is Scholar Brian.
Disembodied voice for the win.
Now when you're just thinking of disembodied voice, I'm just thinking, hey Arnold, if you plant them, they will grow. How do you know? Because I'm a mystical disembodied voice. Plant them, it will grow. Okie dokie.
It didn't take long.
Of obscurity? Sure.
You know what's not obscure? This weekend's show. This weekend, of course, is Money in the Bank coming us straight from WWE.
Money, 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 money.
And we're going to be covering every little bit of it. But first, we've got some ground to cover in the wacky world of backstage news.
Wow, that was wacky world. Okay. Nothing else more to say. That instead of going after the briefcase, we'll just go ahead and peek behind the curtain first and check in on a little
backstage news. Money.
I was honestly expecting the meh there, but that's okay.
That was better.
All right, well,
an actual word there.
Yes.
Bravo, Brian. Bravo.
In the meantime, let's kick things off with a little bit of happy news, because there was a lot of sad stuff going around this week. So let's start off with some happy. Because apparently, all of the participants in the Cruiserweight Classic have finally been announced. Have you guys seen this?
I have.
I haven't seen the announced participants, but I did know that everything's out. Mm-hmm. Everything is set up. Everything's ready. It's a go. Good stuff.
Well, just to give you a little insight as far as who's in the match here. Turns out Kota Ibushi actually is in the Cruiserweight Classic.
Nice.
Yep.
We thought so.
But so is Zack Sabre Jr.
Okay.
Tajiri, of all people, is coming back.
Ah, Tajiri.
That one actually made me smile. I'm just going...
Yeah, that was so unexpected and great.
How very misty.
Yes.
Green misty.
Haha. Let's see. Pulling up a page here. Yeah, we got some guy in a mask called Grand Metallic.
Huh.
Never heard of that guy before. Yeah, Zack Sabre Jr. And for some reason...
We've only got 4 people. Hey!
The WWE page is only showing off these guys. So I guess we know what the Final Four is going to be.
Yeah, I know, right? Jeez.
What a fail.
But even so, even if these guys are the Final Four, with the exception of Grand Metallic, because I really can't speak too much about him, because I don't know who he is, this is going to be amazing. I'm really excited about this now.
As am I. When is it going to start again?
Oh boy, I was afraid you were going to ask that.
Yeah, I know. You should have known it was coming.
Well, I did not.
Well, then shame on you then.
Indeed I should. Okay, let's see. Google, help me out here. Okay, 4 dates. June 23rd, July 14th, August 26th, then finishing on September 14th.
So I guess each round is going to be like one show?
I assume so, yes. Okay, here's a full list. Kira Tozawa. There's a lot of people here, so I'm not going to go down to everybody. Brian Kendrick is going to be back.
Hey!
I actually laughed out loud when I saw that one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I was just thinking, Brian Kendrick, where's Paul London?
I see a ho-ho.
Yes. Some guy named Ho-Ho Loon is going to be in here. Noam Dar, I've heard of him. Johnny Gargano. Lindsay Dorado, which is really cool that he's going to be around.
El Dandy, what?
I wish. And some guy named Zombie.
Zombie.
I have no idea who he is.
Is he an offshoot of Gumby?
I want him to come out to the Gumby theme song now.
Please.
You know what? Now you just have that image in my head. I really don't.
First round match, Tajiri versus Gumby.
Let's all see what magical tricks he can play. He can change into anything.
Wow, you remember it.
Some of it.
Oh man, that's weird enough.
His memory is out of control.
It's you'd be surprised of all the random shit that is saved up here.
Hey, the nostalgia is strong with this one. I know that much. Anyhow, speaking of nostalgia, for some reason I was about to say, speaking of lasagna. Wow.
Good to know. We were just
Garfield is on the show.
We were just hoping, like, we wouldn't even caught that. You said it so perfectly. That no messing up of any words there.
And then I ruined it.
And then you ruined it, but now all we're going to think of is lasagna. Thank you.
Yeah, now I'm hungry.
I hope you bring lots of spaghetti.
Wow, you're on fire today, sir. But in the meantime, it's
You're
ironic.
pouring the gasoline there.
I know I am. But come to think of it, it's actually really ironic because I see you're wearing a Degeneration X shirt.
This is the reason why...
If you know where this is going.
Yeah, that's the reason I'm wearing my DX shirt.
Yes. Unfortunately, the man behind the voice behind...
Break it down.
Behind, yes, the Degeneration X theme and Xbox theme and the famous My Time theme for Triple H, Chris Warren has passed away this week at the age of 49.
I heard about this. What exactly, what was his cause?
Oh boy, at the time when I first heard about this, I don't think they actually released that.
I was just shocked. I'm like, really? Oh no.
I know, especially since he was so young. It's absolutely amazing. Okay, and for some reason Chris Warren isn't coming up on Wikipedia.
Wikipedia,
well, because you don't really recognize. You think of the song from DX. Like, I never knew the guy's name before this happened. Okay, I never knew the guy's name. I just knew that song is awesome. But I thought that the WWE had one of their guys just did the song. That's always what I thought. I didn't know that this specific guy was behind it. Mm-hmm. So, while it's sad and all, in my case, you don't want to hear about anybody dying. And he put out some great great tracks that everyone will remember. Come on, DX. Come on.
That's all you. Honestly, that's all you need.
And it's sad to hear, but it doesn't really stick in your head as much as someone like Muhammad Ali or Kimbo Slice or whatever. It's just it's sad that we've lost another talented person who did some good things for the wrestling industry. But I didn't know the guy's name before.
Yeah.
Before, when was it? Monday?
Mm-hmm.
That it happened. Yeah, I didn't know the guy's name before Monday.
Honestly, I have, but unfortunately, that's not the only death in wrestling this week. There is another. Unfortunately, do you guys know the name Gypsy Joe?
Does not ring a bell. I'm going to be perfectly honest.
He was around for a very, very long time. He had like a 60-year career, and our generation will probably know him best as the guy who squared off with New Jack and decided to pick a fight with him.
Oh!
When he was like 70.
Oh, that guy?
That guy? Oh, that guy.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, he passed away, I believe, just yesterday at the age of 82.
Well, he certainly lived a glorious life.
Oh, yes.
If you take out the fact that he stood up against New Jack, there's nothing glorious about that.
Still, it's a testament to his toughness, if nothing else.
What the hell with New Jack? I don't like him. I don't care.
Even so,
he's a prick.
Well, even so, I just find it funny when I was looking up his list of accomplishments and championships, pulling up his Wikipedia page. On his list of championships and things he's done, the very last entry, Tennessee Wrestling Alliance, United States Wrestling Association.
Survive New Jack.
Survive New Jack.
Don't give that piece of garbage any credit. Seriously, the hell with New Jack.
I know.
I hate this guy. He's not a legend in any shape or form. He's a guy that should be behind bars. I can't stand him.
Be that as it may, Gypsy Joe is...
Gypsy Joe, bravo. Unintentional rhyming.
Yes.
Looking at his page, it seems
he's a
like
very
he held a
accomplished.
lot.
Yeah, he's a very accomplished wrestler.
Yeah, well, he's had one of for the longest time, he was the oldest living active wrestler. It's actually crazy.
For all the stuff that he did, like, he lived in that age of wrestling where drugs were prevalent.
Can I see a picture of him?
And drugs were prevalent.
Okay,
you got
bring it
steroids. You got all kinds of crap going through the backstage area. For a wrestler of that era to live till he's 82 years old, good for you, buddy.
Yeah, this guy was... He was hardcore in any era. This guy. It's absolutely insane. It's like
Holy shit. I recognize him.
Really?
I've actually seen him at an independent show.
I wouldn't be
He
shocked.
actually wrestled a match against one of the local guys in that show.
Really?
Yeah.
Where was this?
Where was it? I believe it was the same event where I met Ted DiBiase and I maniacally laughed with him.
Oh, no kidding.
I believe it was that same event.
Wild. But yeah, that just speaks volumes about how long he's been around. But either way, Chris Warren, Gypsy Joe, we're all gonna miss all of you. The wrestling world is lesser for having you left it. And that's really all I got to say about that. Forrest. In the meantime, speaking of main events and all that good stuff, let's jump right into Money in the Bank.
Money.
And there's a lot of show here, so let's dive right in.
Can I just throw one quick, very, very, very quick quick talk with Money in the Bank, particularly? Do you believe Money in the Bank should be added to the Big Four?
No.
I don't think it can be in the way that I think people might be thinking, just because it depends on how prestigious and how exciting it might be. It might be going in that direction, but I don't think it's there yet.
I do agree with that. I think it actually is heading in that direction.
Right now, no. Come back in 5 years.
Yeah, like any other show, like any other regular show, this is going to be very dependent on the same type of repeat excitement and build the way other gimmick pay-per-views have, like King of the Ring, like Royal Rumble.
I was going to say,
like SummerSlam.
it's actually reaching the point where winning
I agree.
is as prestigious as winning the Royal Rumble.
But the problem for me is that the actual match itself is getting a little old.
Yeah, that will be...
That I feel, so it's like it's about the excitement factor, and the excitement for me is starting to wear off because the match itself is getting a little redundant. Okay, like a Royal Rumble, it's still exciting because there's all kinds of...
Because we make a game out of it.
You can make a game out of it, and it's an hour-long match that anything could happen. The Money in the Bank ladder match, it's one ladder match. Well, on a pay-per-view, there's only so much you can do. And yeah, I see with the way that they're building up this particular Money in the Bank pay-per-view with Rollins versus Reigns, you got Cena versus AJ Styles. Like they're building up this particular one as a WrestleMania worthy pay-per-view. But can you sustain that over time? Which is what Survivor Series has done, which is what SummerSlam has done, which is what the Royal Rumble has done, and WrestleMania is WrestleMania. So give it a few more years, we'll see where it's at the time.
Yeah, I think we're going to see I think we'll have a good answer at the end of the night this Sunday. So, honestly, let's just dive right in, because there's a lot of show here. First off, we've got 2 matches on the kickoff show. First of these being Apollo Crews versus Sheamus, of all things.
Apollo Crews.
Simple. With how they're somewhat building this feud of kind of similar to what, it's a smaller effect of what John Cena and AJ Styles is. It's like the old versus the new, the up and coming, the new era, standing up to what is it? The old guard. Is that the right term?
It's one way to put it.
Yeah.
It's that to a very small effect, and I think Apollo Crews is going to take this one. If this was on the actual card, I would give it to Sheamus, but the fact that it is just a pre-show match, I'm going to give it to Apollo Crews.
I find it funny, okay, how Sheamus won the Money in the Bank ladder match last year, and now he's relegated to an enhancement match on the pre-show of the match that he won.
But does he lose?
Yes. I think he does.
Yeah.
I'm giving
Apollo
it to Crews.
I'm giving it to Crews because I just feel like they're so low on Sheamus right now.
And
the way that they've been treating him.
And with how they have high aspects for Apollo Crews, I think this is the start of him being a legit star.
Okay, I certainly
hope
so.
And besides, what does Sheamus have to accomplish with this match if he wins? He's already won everything.
He's won every conceivable match. He's in the WWE.
The only thing he needs to win is the Intercontinental Championship, and maybe the tag team titles. I'm not sure. And that's it. He would have won everything, from Money in the Bank to Royal Rumble to King of the Ring, to both world titles, to the United States title.
Yeah,
he's won. Yeah, he's won everything.
And it's as he said. Okay, it's as he said. If this was on the pay-per-view itself, we might be talking differently. Okay, but it's an enhancement match on the pre-show. No one really gives a crap. Give it to Crews.
Okay, so I guess we're all in consensus then.
So you're picking Crews too, because you didn't give your prediction.
Oh yeah, well, I was sort of on the fence, but yeah, what you're saying is making sense. He does need the rub. I'm just more than seeing Apollo Crews win. I would much rather see him develop more as a character.
Honestly,
no matter what.
I feel like he should have stayed in NXT a lot longer.
Yeah, I feel like he's not quite there yet.
The fact that he didn't even go for the an NXT title shot. He only had 5 matches in NXT, and then they called him up.
I think he did a few more than that, but again, it was very brief. But yeah, I just want to see him develop more beyond just flippy smiley guy. So
we're getting to see that a little bit.
Yeah, as long as that goes in that direction and he develops something, then
I'm just happy
bravo.
To be here.
In the meantime, how about another match that we've seen about 1 million times already? Dolph Ziggler versus Baron Corbin. Yay!
What I find this match hilarious is the fact that they're pulling a Kalisto and Ryback with this. Have nothing going on for the past few weeks. The last time we saw these guys together was the Low Blow. That's it.
Yeah, it's
at this point, Baron Corbin has to win. He has to. If
you've already got the people basically taking a dump on this guy because all he's been doing is
fighting Ziggler.
Nobody cares anymore. Just give him the win and end it already.
And have him move on.
Please. Last month should have been good enough. But now it's like Baron Corbin means absolutely jack shit right now because all he's been doing is playing around with Ziggler.
And if he loses this match,
he's
superstars.
Put a fork in him.
He's either in Superstars. He's either Superstars. He's either Superstars main event or he goes right back down to NXT.
Yeah. If he loses this match, put a fork in him. He's done.
I'm sorry, I just love the way you refer to it. If he loses this match, he's Superstars. He is multiple Superstars all at once. I'm sorry, that was funny.
He's Superstars caliber.
He's Saturday night. He's Saturday morning. What was that? Saturday morning slam. He's that. If he loses this match.
Ooh, that hits right in the lower region. Wow, that's
low blow, right?
I love that description. If you lose this match, he's Superstars.
Yeah.
That needs to become a thing. All right, so we got another early pre-show consensus then.
I will be very sad if Baron Corbin loses. Nothing against Ziggler. I love Ziggler, but it's reached the point where Corbin needs this win a lot more.
Sorry, I had the yawn there.
That's how much this feud is.
Exactly.
I walked into that one.
Like I said, you're adding fuel to the flames.
Yes, indeed. Speaking of flames and fire and that kind of stuff, we've got a women's tag match. Charlotte and Dana Brooke versus Natalya and Becky Lynch. Who do you got?
I was expecting more of a Kane pun in there. Speaking of flames.
Don't be ridiculous. Kane's not in the match.
But he had a great GM proposition. That
came out of nowhere.
Come on,
I
if
realized,
you get a recommendation from The Undertaker, that's just great.
Yeah.
Is this about the time I handcuffed your testicles to a car battery? I'm sorry. It's like, that doesn't help your case. I'm like, that was great. But yeah, that's how important this match is. It really isn't.
Yeah, I'm actually a little surprised it's happening, but okay, I can. This is good with me.
It has to be Charlotte and Dana Brooke.
Really, you think so?
I really don't think so. I think they're going with this. I think they're going with this story
that Dana Brooke is a weak link.
Yeah, I feel like this tag team match, okay, is so that Charlotte's team can lose, but she doesn't lose the title.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
That's how I feel. Like, Natalya can get a win without actually winning the title. That's how I feel this match. So I'm saying Natalya and Becky Lynch will make Dana Brooke tap out. That's how
I can't argue that. I honestly can't argue that.
It's just if they. It's just the circumstances.
It just hurts Charlotte.
It doesn't hurt Charlotte. It really doesn't.
After losing in the 2-minute match with Paige?
I don't feel it hurts. I don't feel it hurts her.
Here's how I think this is going to go. In the match, Natalya and Becky Lynch are going to win. And then in the preceding months, this is going to transfer over between Natalya feuding with Dana Brooke and then Charlotte going on to feud with Becky Lynch.
I would be fine with that. Mm-hmm. Just get Natalya out of the title picture.
Yeah, and this.
I've had enough of that.
And this can be one way to do it.
Yeah.
Once you kick off a feud between Natalya and Dana Brooke will eventually go over.
Maybe Becky does. Maybe Becky and Charlotte get into a brawl. Maybe Dana Brooke just pisses off Charlotte and Charlotte leaves. I could see that happening.
Any number of things, really.
This doesn't have to hurt Charlotte.
Oh no, there's so many ways where it cannot and will not.
The only way this hurts Charlotte is if she's the one taking the pinfall. And I think that Dana Brooke is there to take the loss.
It's possible. It's definitely possible. Again, for all we know, Sasha's been out of action for a while. Maybe Sasha will come out after the match and be like, hey, I want my title back. SummerSlam, let's do it.
She never had
the title.
You said you get.
I want my title back.
I'm sorry. I meant like I want that title. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
anyway, just another way this can go. Just
Yeah.
for example.
So I'm gonna go Becky Lynch, Natalya.
All right. So another consensus.
It's a very, very resilient Becky Lynch and Natalya for me. I'm not as convinced as you guys are.
And you know what? That's fair. And that's fair. This isn't like a completely set in stone thing. That's just my guess.
If you want to have like a Sasha Banks Charlotte feud going into SummerSlam, which is what's still the plan on the table, I feel like having a loss in this one, yeah, she may not get the pin or the submission, whatever they decide to do, but it's still the fact that she lost. She's not looking. She's not looking strong.
I feel like this storyline for Monday is going to. That's the big factor. Okay, if you screw up again, whatever. By her saying if you screw up again, it basically means she's gonna screw up again. Okay,
and that just, I guess, it leads to a Dana Brooke Charlotte feud to fill up. What is it? Battleground that's next.
I believe so.
Yeah, something in between for whatever happens. But I just feel like they wouldn't have started that story if there wasn't going to be fallout at this pay-per-view, which means Dana Brooke would have to screw up again, leading to a Natalya Becky win.
Again, it's so we're all sticking with Natalya Becky Lynch?
I guess.
Yeah. This I actually kind of like this in a weird way. Like this sort of slight unpredictability, making a second guess. It's at least not boring as far as her finish is concerned.
Yeah.
So, hey, who knows what we're gonna get?
I wish I had your enthusiasm, because I thought this feud, this whole build-up, this whole what's going on with the women's division for the past month is just...
The last 3 months. I hated the Natalya-Charlotte feud. I hated it. Okay, so this entire thing I don't really care about, but it makes more sense to me, the outcome that I predicted.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of those cases where whatever happens in this match, it's going to basically set the stage for whatever happens next.
Right.
And that's its significance alone. In the meantime, speaking of significance or lack thereof, next match we've got Rusev versus Titus O'Neil, of all things.
Rusev wins.
Okay.
Is there even any... Just... build up to this has been awful, man.
Yeah, you want to talk about stuff I don't care about? I mean, and this is a guy who likes Rusev, but this is... okay, this is the thing that's happening.
This is the... I'm sorry, but the way that they've built this up, this is them feeding Titus O'Neil to Rusev. This is like when Jack Swagger was facing off against Rusev. It's the same thing. It's just a placeholder until the next big feud, which sucks because Titus O'Neil is. I like Titus O'Neil, and we thought after the first week that this was building to something big, and then the build up was just.
And
awful.
then they just dropped the ball.
And then the build up was awful, which basically means, Rusev's retaining. When the build up is shit, you're not even trying. You're telegraphing who's winning.
Okay, so that was a quick consensus too. Wow. All right, moving on to when things are really getting good. We have the New Day versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson versus Enzo and Cass versus the Vaudevillains in a fatal 4-way tag match for the WWE Tag Team titles.
I feel like this is the pay-per-view of the club coming out on top. Just like you have that pay-per-view where everybody in the stable wins. Okay, I'm feeling that. I
am too.
I think there's a shot because they've made a point to say that the New Day is like 39 days away from being the longest reigning tag team champions of all time.
Not of the SmackDown the current tag team
of the current tag team championships. So they've made that point, but I feel like they don't put the club in this match if the club isn't gonna win. So I'm gonna go with the club.
You took the words right out of my mouth when you said this is gonna be the club's event. I 150% agree with you on that one.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the club wins this one. They're going to take the gold.
Wow, I think we got another consensus here, because I was like, oh boy, this could be a big thing. This is going to be great. Anyone can win. Which is still it's still technically possible. Like, I can see any of the above teams winning, but just looking, my gut is telling me that the club is probably going to take this one, just because of who they are and what they're about,
and what the build up of the club members for this pay-per-view has been.
Mm-hmm.
It feels right to have the club win at least this match, at least become tag team champions.
Mm-hmm. But can we also agree too that this is probably going to be a really awesome match?
Easy.
A lot of these a lot of the matches on this card are very awesome matches.
This card has the potential to be one of the best that I've seen this year. Mm-hmm. It has the potential to be a pay-per-view of the year candidate. Mm-hmm. Okay, we haven't had many. A lot of the pay-per-views have been shoddy this year. So it's nice to have a good-looking card on paper for once. You know.
Well, we were just talking about him a moment ago, so let's just dive right into the second part of this. We've got John Cena versus AJ Styles. Guys, just say it.
I feel like this is a Kevin Owens situation.
It has from yes, absolutely.
Kevin Owens came out, made a statement last year before. I think it was Money in the Bank when he won, right? Was it Money in the Bank?
Was it Money in the when he beat Cena?
When he beat Cena.
I want to say maybe. I don't know exactly when.
Question, actually.
But before the match that he won, he came out and made a statement. It wasn't like a talking thing, but he came out, did the pop-up powerbomb, and said, "I don't want your new United States title. I just want to beat you, and that whatever pay-per-view it was, I will." He went out and did it. Now AJ Styles comes out, cuts a fantastic promo.
Oh yeah,
2 weeks ago.
Hell yeah!
And with all the stuff that he was saying to Cena, okay, if you say all that, if you say what you said on Raw this week as well, and then you lose, especially after what just happened with your feud with Roman Reigns. I would say put a fork in him. He's done. Okay, you don't come out that hard and then lose. Mm-hmm. So whether it's clean, whether it's dirty, I don't know. But I feel that this is AJ Styles with that promo. After cutting that promo, I said that AJ Styles must win.
It was Elimination Chamber.
It was
okay.
Okay.
The Money in the Bank.
The second one
that
was
the
Money in the
second one.
Bank.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's just one of those. It's just one of those. You cut a promo where you have to win afterwards. If you don't, it makes you look like a bitch.
And then you're superstars.
And then you're Saturday morning.
And then it's the fact, since he's arrived, he hasn't won a single pay-per-view match.
Yeah, that especially. He's especially after WrestleMania.
His first pay-per-view win against John Cena would help him solidify him as a top.
He didn't win at the February one? Payback? Not Payback. I thought he beat Jericho at that pay-per-view, and then he no, wait. Yeah. They did that best of 3.
Was it the best?
Even if he did, after everything that happened in WrestleMania,
but still, not even WrestleMania. It's just the way they bitched him out with Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
If you come out and cut that promo and lose, superstars. That's it.
Yes. If you after that kind of promo and you lose, you're superstars.
That's it. That's not going to go away, is it?
Nope, no, you've created a monster, sir.
It's
You're
just
too
one
funny
of those,
for your own damn good.
It's one of those. He went too hard. He went too hard. If he was this is probably going to be booked exactly like the Kevin Owens feud last year. But in order for that to happen, you need to start it off with an AJ Styles win,
and not just a win, a clean win. He needs to win this match clean.
He needs to win this match Kevin Owens style. Mm-hmm. Straight up. Clean.
I love that the phrase pulling a Kevin Owens is a thing now.
Well, yeah, come in for your first match and beat the first pay-per-view of the summer, come in and beat John Cena clean. Okay, and that'll bring his star back up because he's pretty down in the dirt right now after Andy just turned heel. Come on, all these factors are adding up to an AJ Styles win. If it doesn't, then the heel turn was pointless. That's it.
Yes, it kind of is.
It would be his WWE run would be a bust. It's sad to say, and it's just started what? 6 months ago.
Just started at the Royal Rumble, and it would be a bust already because they let their top two guys run all over him.
Yeah. John and the fact that he even brought in the whole golden shovel into this feud, he has to win.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's a whole. And even when John Cena's talking, it's like he's alluding to it. It's like, yeah, you're probably gonna beat me. If it's one-on-one, you're probably gonna.
The funny thing is, with John Cena's point of it, it's reminiscent to his feud with CM Punk, Money in the Bank 2011. John Cena is looking at AJ Styles as the guy who can't hang.
I loved the last 2 weeks of this feud. Like, they're both bringing it so hard.
They are both on their A game, and yeah.
I mean, when he called him an indie punk on Monday Night Raw, I was like,
wow.
Oh, damn. Okay. They're
really looking at AJ Styles may be booked as a heel, but really Cena's the heel of this feud.
Yeah, he is.
If you're looking at it from like a hardcore wrestling fan who's been following like AJ Styles' career,
like, he's calling out all independent wrestlers and fans.
He's basically saying you're nothing more than punks. Middle finger. You're worthless when it comes to me because I'm the face of the big leagues.
I'm the face that runs this place.
God, that's such a stupid saying.
Yeah, it really is.
The beginning of AJ Styles' promo on this last Monday was a little weak because he just kept parroting John Cena's points, and then he signed the contract and he went in on him again, and I'm like, that's twice now. Okay, now it's time to put up or shut up. You have to win.
Yeah.
If not, your run is a bust, and I'm not gonna care anymore. I'm sorry.
And hell, if he wins and he has some, like, if it's someone who's not an official member of the club and someone interferes on his behalf, it would be just as much a bust if he loses for me. Because it's that whole typical heel bullshit that WWE does, where there is no credible heels anymore. They have to cheat to win. That whole load of shit, and I hate it.
Yeah, it won't last. I'm convinced that, you know what? Especially now, you just told me that, again, AJ Styles must win.
He has to, with no questions asked.
Alright, so that's settled. Now for the big one. This may go as another consensus, it may not. But either way, here we go. We've got it. Money in the Bank. We've got...
I thought he was saving this one for last. Okay.
Sami Zayn, Ambrose, Jericho, Cesaro, Del Rio, and Kevin Owens. And
well,
to answer your question, I'm going in the way they have it on the .com. So,
well,
all right, fire away, gents. What do you got?
Let's put it out there right now. There are two people who are not going to win this match.
Jericho and Del Rio.
Exactly. Okay, Jericho because he sat on top of the ladder holding the briefcase in his arms on Monday Night Raw.
I love the fact that Charlie told me that you and him had a conversation. Just watch, they're going to pull some bullshit and have Del Rio, the guy who no one is thinking is going to win, just pull out the briefcase win.
Yeah,
screw you. With that comment, I wasn't even there for that, but you know what? Screw you for that comment.
You know what?
No, because we're going all in. We're like Ambrose is going to win. Owens is going to win. Zayn has a chance. Cesaro is
he's the wild card.
Cesaro is the wild card. You got Del Rio and Jericho with no chance. Wait a minute. What? Because we were talking Del Rio and Jericho with the you have no thoughts of them winning, and then they come in and win, and then they took Jericho out of that equation by him standing tall at the end of the show on Monday. So it's like, okay, you're out, and then it's like, oh no. Well, what if they pull the swerve like they did with Zack Ryder and have Del Rio be the one to...
Shut up.
Del Rio be the one to win the briefcase.
Oh, God,
but
no.
Here's my deal.
Superstars.
Here's my deal. I don't think Sami Zayn's going to win because they were building him up so big on Monday Night Raw. with the win, being like, he's high energy, he's all ready for Money in the Bank.
He can hang with the boys.
He can hang with the boys. Okay, that's nice. You're not gonna win. That's how I feel. Cesaro kind of feels like he would be my third choice to win because first of all, he lost on Monday, but then again, he's kind of out for me too because he stood tall in the first 6-man exchange. He's the one who came out on top at the end. So I was like, okay.
He grabbed the briefcase.
So I'm like, okay, you're out. So for me, it comes down to Ambrose and Owens. Ambrose, for me, okay, said the win-killing line on Monday when he was doing the Ambrose Asylum and stated, well, what would happen if I won Money in the Bank and cashed it in that very night to walk out WWE World Heavyweight Champion? And this pops into my head, well, considering that you just said it on Raw, it's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. So that took him out of the equation for me, leaving me with Kevin Owens as the victor. I'm going Kevin Owens.
Okay. Yeah, I really can't argue with that logic.
Because I feel that Ambrose is going to be Royal Rumble. I feel Ambrose is going to do the Royal Rumble victory for a match at WrestleMania, and I don't feel right giving him the Money in the Bank briefcase before that. And for me, the Money in the Bank works better in heelish hands. So give it to Kevin Owens.
Cool. Who do you got?
That's how I feel.
This is the biggest toss-up for me because it's like what he said. The top two contenders are Owens and Ambrose, and I even went back and looked at the past winners. The last winner, the last guy who won the briefcase, who was a face when he won it, was John Cena. After that, all heels have been winning.
For a second there, I was going to say Daniel Bryan, but I forgot he won it before that.
He won it before that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
then in between that, it was Dolph Ziggler.
Heel.
He was a heel when he won it. Damian Sandow, heel. Randy Orton, heel. Seth Rollins, heel. Sheamus, heel.
Mm. I feel like Money in the Bank is the perfect thing for heelish characters. Okay, started off with Edge, the perfect heel for that time period. Ultimate opportunist. Cool. Whatever. Then Rob Van Dam won, and he cashed it in for a match. The match itself is great, but the title run was lackluster due to Druggy Boy over here getting caught. Okay, CM Punk wins it as a face. Wins the title. One of the crappiest title runs I've ever seen in my life. It's the WWE doesn't know what to do with a face Money in the Bank winner. I feel like they've never done it right. It's never worked.
Rob Van Dam
didn't work.
Rob Van Dam didn't work.
It didn't work in the end. Didn't work.
Well, it did when the time came for a payoff.
I just feel like
Money in the Bank cash in.
I just feel like that was one time. Then they got skittish. Okay, it's like CM Punk, the first reign could have been they could have turned that into the Summer of Punk. Mm-hmm. Right? He could have won it as a face, turned heel the way he did the year after that, mm-hmm. and then did the Summer of Punk for that. But no, they had him be a perfect cookie cutter babyface, and it didn't work. Then you have John Cena win, that didn't work. Daniel Bryan wins, he loses for a few months. Then they turn him heel, and then it works. That's it. So I'm like, Dean Ambrose can do a lot of things with the Money in the Bank with his crazy character. Okay, it just feels better to me to have him win the Royal Rumble instead of the Money in the Bank.
True, but then again, I'm not sure if they're going to want to wait that long. And for all the reasons you just said, again, there's so much more that I feel like a character like Dean Ambrose can do with the Money in the Bank like that. That I think it's just interesting enough to make him a candidate to win. I'm gonna pick Ambrose. Fool, who do you got?
This is still a very tough choice for me because both are very legit arguments, for and against both. For me, from how I'm looking at it at the long run, both guys can benefit greatly with the briefcase.
I know, tough one. This is a tough year.
This is a very tough. It's a very tough year.
It's rare when you have like two guys who have a legitimate, who have 50-50. Like you toss a coin up in the air.
With you saying his promo during the Ambrose Asylum is the win kill promo, I honestly look at it as also as solidified that he's going to be involved with the title picture, and him using the briefcase as his way of getting into it.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. Because if they do that, then they can set up a Shield reunion feud over the rest of the summer.
And they've even rubbed into the fact that both Rollins and Reigns both won the title with Shield members, and they don't say anything about Dean Ambrose winning it.
Yeah, and I can see that being sort of the thing that puts a chip on his shoulder, maybe even turns him heel, maybe. Because if they
does he need the briefcase
No.
in order to be in the world title feud?
No, but it's
Throughout
one
the summer.
possible way.
It's one possible way, but it's...
And I could be perfectly honest, I actually kind of want him to hold on to the briefcase and then all of a sudden win Royal Rumble 2. So, he would be a Royal Rumble winner and a Money in the Bank
That
winner.
would annoy the
and
shit
then
out of me.
he would hint at the fact that, even if I lose my Royal Rumble match at WrestleMania, I still have this.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. A guy who gets a title shot while holding the Money in the Bank briefcase? That's never been done before.
I might be the only one that would annoy the shit out of me. I'm sorry.
You know what else I want to see? I want to see a Money in the Bank winner who is holding the briefcase, but earn the title shot and win it without cashing in.
I just remember a couple of years back when Seth Rollins won the Money in the Bank and Dean Ambrose lost, and Dean Ambrose was in the back going, "It's more fun this way." So what if he loses and then just forces his way into the world title picture anyway? Yeah. That's how I feel.
The way they can write his character, they can do any number of that stuff as they see fit.
But when it comes to just the predictions, I'm gonna pick Ambrose.
Picking Ambrose?
Kevin Owens is still my number 2. I won't get mad if he wins. Absolutely not.
But
I just feel like just full prediction.
You also know why I'm picking Owens, because everybody else is picking Ambrose.
Honestly, I thought you were gonna pick Cesaro. I really did.
So did I.
Of course you two did.
When he said top 2, I was like, well, one of them is Cesaro.
Oh, trust me, I would love to have my man Crush win.
And
but
it's gotta be
Cesaro. It's gonna be Cesaro. Just be like, aha! Everyone's expecting Ambrose or Owens, but nope.
Seriously,
the only person who would
he's my number 3.
The only person who would make me mad if he won would be Del Rio. Anybody who wins this match, I will be okay with it. Okay, because even Jericho would be funny as hell. He goes off the tour for 6 months. You don't see him again. Out he comes at WrestleMania with his briefcase, only to lose in Jericho fashion. That's it.
See, even then, for the long shots, or at least the ones we consider long shots, it's not so implausible that they couldn't come up with something interesting to do with them. That's what I'm even saying.
Because I feel like this is the most talented Money in the Bank.
Right, and they've also got a lot of momentum behind them. Which is why I'm saying that even though we might see some people as having more eligibility than others, it would not be unheard of if they decided to go for, say, a Cesaro win right about now.
Yeah.
And he'll just be walking around in a suit and just carrying around a briefcase.
And another
they can cash in at any time.
I could see him.
And
I could see
another
him pulling
reason
like a
why-
bondish,
constant, exactly.
a bondish thing, and he has the Money in the Bank briefcase handcuffed to his hand.
He would be a constant he'd be a constant figure of menace wherever he goes.
Yeah,
and he'd
I'd
still be a face.
Yeah, I just feel like Ambrose is the obvious pick. They've been throwing it in your face with exactly what you said. They've been throwing it in your face that only 2 members of the Shield have worn WWE World Heavyweight Title gold. Okay, they did that Ambrose Asylum on Raw. He's been winning every match that he's in, leading up to the show. I'm like, for me personally, Ambrose is the obvious choice, and they've made it too obvious.
Yeah, but then again,
They've been
I'm
throwing
also
it in your face.
But also think of it, it's WWE. When they throw too obvious things, it actually does end up being that way.
Well, a lot of times anyway. But again, that's sort of that very idea is sort of what's keeping me alive on all this.
I will not be mad. I will not be mad if Owens wins. I will not be mad if Cesaro wins. I don't care. I'm just thinking
Zayn would be kind of weird, but
Zayn
okay.
would be yeah, it would be a weird one,
but
just
not unheard of.
Not unheard of.
Unheard of. You're like, okay.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'm not gonna shit on this one. Del Rio wins. I'm gonna shit all over it. That's it.
No, of course.
Del Rio wins. This review is gonna be a good one.
Yeah,
that's it. If Del Rio
that
wins.
will be interesting.
It'll be Zack Ryder Part 2.
If Del Rio wins instead of clear liquid, I am going to bring some vodka for my show next week. I'm just like, yep. I am chugging down.
Yep, don't care.
I am getting drunk.
Yeah, if you come in here with a bottle of Grey Goose, I'm like, you're not driving back home.
I am walking.
Anyway, let's jump right into the main event. We've got Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Gentlemen, who do you got?
Roman Reigns. Roman Brains.
Roman Brains?
Roman Brains.
Okay, Roman Brains.
That's not going to trend at all.
Not at all.
Stop it.
Not at all. Roman Brains!
How much did you have to drink?
I had some Gatorade.
Stop it. The electrolytes are driving you insane.
Okay.
So anyway,
but the point still stands. Roman Reigns.
As much as I hate to say it, yeah, Roman Reigns.
This feels like Seth Rollins coming back to. This is basically him losing his title.
Ouch.
It kind of feels like that. You know, like they brought him back so he could lose his title. And then they could have like a Shield, because there's talk of John Cena versus Roman Reigns for SummerSlam. There's a triple threat talk for SummerSlam. Who the hell knows what they're gonna do for SummerSlam? But it seems like Seth Rollins one-on-one is a placeholder feud. So, and when you're in a placeholder feud, Roman Reigns, it's gonna be a great match, but it feels like a Roman Reigns to me.
Yeah, that's a
and
shame.
with how Vince McMahon is still riding that Roman Reigns horse, and having Roman Reigns himself saying that Seth Rollins will solidify his championship, that's just Vince McMahon's way of saying Seth Rollins. It's like, yeah, Seth Rollins may be Triple H's guy, but I'm still running this place, and Roman Reigns is my guy. Yeah, much to everyone's dismay. It's reached the, I will say though, this Ambrose Asylum this past week was Reigns' best promo to date. It's not
the best.
Not saying much, but it really was. That last bit he had with Rollins before it all ended with Dean Ambrose.
It got the emotion across of what was going on. Like before when they were doing the, I guess a week ago when they were doing the back when they were doing the videos and whatever he was doing, you didn't feel it. You didn't feel it coming from Reigns. I
from
felt
his package, absolutely not.
I felt it on Monday. I felt where he was coming from. I felt where he was coming from on Monday, and you put the 3 members of the Shield in the ring together, and
that's all you need.
Everything turned right. Everything turned right again. Even Reigns stepped his game up. They love being in the ring together, so put them in a triple threat at SummerSlam. I feel you don't really need the Money in the Bank at that point, but that's going back. But for this, I feel like Roman Reigns is going to hold the title till SummerSlam, at least. And Seth Rollins, I hate to say it, but coming back to be a stepping block on that road to SummerSlam.
And I feel like this match is with how much sympathy packaging they're building for Rollins in this feud. From that one Shield package alone, they built him up as the more sympathetic character. And with Roman Reigns, they just built a typical champion package.
Right.
I feel like it's Seth Rollins that is basically like getting the sympathy from the fans. He's so close to winning it, but not getting it. It's disappointing. And I feel like this is the stepping stone for a possible face turn for Rollins.
And it's certainly a possibility. And I honestly, again, like you said, with the whole workout package recovery thing on WWE 24 that they did, I think there's a good strong possibility that might actually come to pass. And then there's which also leads credence to my theory that if they do that, I can see them turning Ambrose heel in order to bring up someone.
It's a possibility.
Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities going on.
I'm still going to argue that turning Ambrose heel to his hell before a Reigns heel turn is a stupid idea.
It's not going to take. An Ambrose heel turn isn't going to take. That's it.
Yeah, again, this is really just...
I can see him being the tweener.
Yeah, all this is just one possible way it could go. Is it the smartest way? No. But it is one way it can go, and something that seems plausible underneath the WWE banner.
I just feel the people who are holding out for Seth Rollins' win are being too optimistic. Remember who we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
But you know what? That's the beauty of this. It's just unpredictable enough that ultimately time will tell, especially this Sunday.
Yeah.
It'll make for a good show at least.
Yeah. It's all that. You've got the card for a great wrestling show.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And that's all we really care about in the end.
Mm-hmm. No argument from me there.
And also, you got a couple guys who are
up to no good? No,
not even. Just like ready to return. Can we see a couple of them show up at some point tonight? At some point on the Money in the Bank card?
Oh, I think it's remotely possible.
You got Bray Wyatt, you got Randy Orton, you got the rest of the Wyatt family because they're holding them off of TV until Bray Wyatt comes back, probably for the best. Give Braun Strowman some more time down in developmental.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think he's... Yeah.
So there's a chance for a lot of cool stuff to happen Money in the Bank.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah. So, that's Money in the Bank. It's really shaping up to be a really, really exciting one. But in the meantime, Fool, I believe you've got one more quick Scholars Quick Talk for us.
Indeed I do. If any of you listeners went to our Facebook page, you saw that I posted a Scholars Quick Talk discussion of your favorite cash-in for Money in the Bank. and I decided to post it early, and so you guys can actually have time to think about it. So, your favorite cash-ins?
Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins and the first Edge.
If you had to pick one.
If I had to pick one, the one that made me jump out of my seat, was Seth Rollins WrestleMania.
Why that one?
Because, you knew it was coming, but the atmosphere of it was so great. You weren't expecting anything out of a Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar match. But it turned out to be an awesome match. And then you have the two guys down. You have the two guys down in the ring after Roman Reigns had staged his Superman punch, 5 in a row? To finally get, and then a spear to finally get Brock Lesnar down. Brock Lesnar kicks out, and then they're all laying out on the they're all laying on the ring, and then you think that something can happen because when it happens, it's normally both men down in the ring, but normally a Money in the Bank cash-in isn't during the match; it's after the match. So when Seth Rollins' music hit, and he was
fun.
and he's like, I don't even care. They're both down. I'll do it. They're in the match. Screw it. That's it. And he gets in the ring, and then it also wasn't he didn't just hand the briefcase, pin the dude, and go. He was in peril for a second when he jumped into Brock Lesnar's arms.
It really was like he was just still actively in the match from the start.
Yeah, exactly.
Still, it was a match.
So it was exciting. It was the most exciting thing because it's could he actually lose here? He jumped right because he jumped right into Brock Lesnar's arms for an F5, and I'm fuck. That's it. So and then the icing on the cake was when he was like, I'm not even going to go after you, Brock. Get out of the ring. I'm going after my buddy Roman. So he pinned Roman Reigns, got the title, and I'm like... And with the show being the success that it was, we named it Pay-Per-View of the Year, I believe, that year. A couple of us did.
It was certainly a contender.
With in our award show, a couple of us named it Pay-Per-View of the Year. And a lot of it was due to that moment in particular, and very close behind it was Edge's cash-in, just because of the novelty of it being the first one, and how is this? How we don't know how it works. How is it going to work? And then it happens, and it's like, oh, okay, here we go.
All right, I'm digging it.
What do you got, fool?
Honestly, I was thinking about this, and at this current moment in time, there's so many different ways people have cashed in that if there's the proper rationale is applied, a lot of things can be considered to be the best cash-in. But my personal favorite, even though it was a little unusual, was Rob Van Dam on John Cena to create the One Night Stand event. Just the way that it was done, even though the exact cash-in wasn't the great, the match that we got out of it was one I will literally never forget. Just because of how unique it was.
One of the greatest atmospheres ever.
And it's something I don't think you're ever going to be able to quite replicate again, just because it was prime John Cena in the middle of his monstrous title reign, going up against the golden boy of ECW, when you're talking in front, in the direct...
In the middle.
Hornet's nest, in the middle of enemy territory, right in the smack dab in the middle of an ECW crowd.
ECW Arena, from what I remember.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was. ECW
it was
just
such a surreal sight to see, and just the excitement. I remember watching it live. It was I loved it. This, to me, is still one of the most exciting matches I've ever seen, and the most exciting spectacles I've just ever seen in my life as far as wrestling is concerned.
Awesome.
So as far as there's better surprise cash-ins, like if we're going full on dash out and throw the briefcase at the ref, yeah, Seth Rollins is definitely up there. But as far as the result we got, period, I'm gonna have to go with Van Dam versus Cena.
And I also really like the Miz's cash-in. That one was good too.
Only because of Angry Miz Girl. Who are you kidding?
Angry Miz Girl and the fact that the Miz actually looked like, holy shit, I'm gonna win the title. Like he went absolute fuck nuts in the ring afterwards. It was great. Like he was crying and all that. So I was like, the emotion behind that.
Well, for me, if you want to talk about emotion, for me, when it comes to genuine emotion, getting that really huge reaction from the crowd and having the emotion of winning the title.
Jack Swagger.
Wow! You know
You're
what?
a superstar.
You're a superstar. Get out! Wow! Yeah, that's who I like to pick. Jack Swagger. Da, 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 da.
I think you just had an El Dandy moment, sir.
Douchebag.
That was wow. Yeah. No. Yeah. No.
Mock. Yeah.
No. Just no. He's on the like contender for one of the worst cash-ins.
I'm crying.
For me, if you want to think of like what a cash-in means to an emotional level, I'm gonna have to go with Dolph Ziggler's cash-in. The Raw after WrestleMania 29. Hell, I went to
Oh, the one I was outside for like a moron.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
See, when it comes to Seth Rollins cash-in, people wanted Seth Rollins to win it just because they didn't want Roman Reigns to win it. For this one, it is genuine. People have gone, myself included, went to WrestleMania to see Dolph Ziggler cash in on Del Rio at WrestleMania. But of course, being the complete jackasses WWE is,
We're gonna do it on Raw the next
do it
night.
on Raw the next night. Biggest mistake that I didn't buy those tickets, because I would have lost my mind just as heavy. But yeah, just seeing that, it was the perfect Bret Hart Stone Cold moment where Del Rio was the face champion and Ziggler was the heel. Yet the roles were completely switched after that moment because everybody wanted Del Rio to lose, and everybody wanted Dolph Ziggler to win it because they want to see Dolph Ziggler succeed.
Mm-hmm.
All that hard work he's been going through over the years finally paid off, and you just felt that genuine emotion when he won the title.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing. It made me stand up, made me almost cry. Just because just seeing that raw emotion coming out of Dolph Ziggler's face when he cashed in.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's actually like the most real of like genuine happiness of the cash-ins.
And you know
and
what?
that's why it's mine.
You know, again, this is actually what I like about this. The longer it goes on, if they're clever, the more variety that can come out of the Money in the Bank scenario like this. I like it.
And then there's Damien Sandow.
Oh, poor Sandow.
Wasted opportunity. Story of Sandow's WWE life.
But hey, at the same time, did you hear he actually just apparently, according to him, he just recently got an offer to do some stand-up comedy with
I did hear that.
John Morrison,
That's
Mundo
awesome.
guy. So, hey, who knows? He seems like he's doing okay. Who knows what's
Did you
next
see
for
the
him?
video of him doing the stunt double for Colt Cabana?
Yes, I did.
Oh, so hilarious.
See, we don't know what's coming for him. So, hey, who can say it may not be what we expect, it may not be what we want, but like Money in the Bank, who's to say it won't be an interesting thing in the end?
There is Sandow.
There is Sandow. In the meantime, we also want to know what you think, our listeners. Of course, you can get into contact with us through all the normal means. Drop us a line on this video. You can also contact us on our Twitter machines. Like this video if you like it. Subscribe if you want to see more. Follow us on Facebook. And of course, going back to our Twitter machines, our Twitter handles, our main one, ScholarsOW. Fool, where can they reach you at?
You can find me at the Avataric.
Brian.
At Atomic Beanpole.
And I'm Robbie Rage, all one word, no apostrophes. Especially since we're talking about a pay-per-view weekend, I know I'm going to be live tweeting quite a lot during this weekend.
Looking for some epic beatdowns.
Not for this show.
Yes, for this show.
Hey,
You're going to see
possible.
some epic celebration.
Give me a
AJ
Baron
Styles
Corbin beatdown.
It's not happening.
Yeah, if you don't beat down Baron Corbin, you're superstars. But in the meantime,
this show is superstars.
Until superstars, you know who we are. We are still the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled.
You're welcome.
See you at Money in the Bank.
Now I'm going to go home and cash in on my wife.
Oh boy.